Are you ready to turn casual website visitors into loyal buyers? In this video, I'm going to share some proven hacks to transform your website into a conversion powerhouse. From crafting the perfect headline to optimizing your site's speed and content, you'll learn 5 hacks that will make your site irresistible to your visitors. Plus, I'll show you how to avoid a couple of common mistakes that drive visitors away. So stick around, this could be the game changer that your business needs. So what are the 5 hacks I'm talking about? These are pretty simple, but to be honest with you, they're the most powerful things I know. And having been marketing for so many years, these are the first things that I fix when I go on someone's website to optimize it for SEO and for conversions. So number 1 is your headline. Your headline should tell people that they're on the right website that will solve their problem. E.g., it has to be something simple like find your perfect acreage home in the Gold Coast hinterland. Now, that's a very simple headline, but it tells people that they're in a place where they can find a home on acreage in the Gold Coast hinterland. So 3 key points that makes you different to anyone else. You could say, find a house on the Gold Coast, but that's pretty generalistic, isn't it? So you need to be specific, but you also need to make sure that you're using the keywords that people are searching for, because that's what's going to make them buy. As people start out on the keyword journey, they start out really wide and they do big wide searches. And as they get more specific, they start to use words that are related to their buying, such as acreage and hinterland and home, things like that. So when people arrive at your website, the first thing they're going to see is your headline. It's going to be right there at the top of the page. So it's absolutely essential that you get this right, because if they read something that's very generalistic or it doesn't really relate to what it is they're looking for, like welcome to our website, which I have seen, believe me, then they're going to bounce and they're gone. You're not going to see them again, which is a shame because you're wasting the opportunity to sell to someone who actually needs what it is you do or sell. Always ensure that the keywords are in there. That is super, super important, as I've previously discussed. And the reason is not just from an SEO perspective, but also because that's what people are looking for. And lastly, just to reiterate, don't be generalistic. Make sure your headline is specific and keep it short as possible while saying all the important stuff. The second hack is to use a banner image of happy people. Now, this might sound weird, but when you look at your headline, you need a picture behind it, don't you? So you need to have a picture of people being happy. It's all very well to show people working diligently or something like that. But for some reason, call it psychological because it is, happy people make buyers happy. It tells them they're in a happy place. So make sure that the picture reflects what's going on in the headline with happy people. So in the headline of the previous example, we had a home on acreage in the Gold Coast hinterland. So it should be a picture of a home on acreage, and you can tell the difference because the houses are set back differently and all those sorts of things, with some happy people in the foreground. Now, you might do an overlay of happy people with the house in the background. That's up to your designer, but it can be done. Either way, that's what you're looking for. Happy people in the place you're talking about doing the thing that you're selling. Make sure that your image is full width. Don't just put a small picture and then a headline behind. Put the banner right across behind the headline, and make sure that your headline is not covering the happy people. What's the point of having them there if you're going to cover them? So make sure you'll often see that you have it to this side and the headline to that side. So the happy people are here, there, and then the house is behind them, etc. I'm sure you can work it out. You're highly intelligent, but you know what I'm saying. The third hack, and this is super, super important, is that your website loads fast. Too many websites take too long to load, especially on mobile devices. And the key thing to remember is most people access the internet through a mobile device these days, whether it be a tablet or a phone, and that's only going to grow. So you need to make sure that your website is always optimized. People will not wait around for the pages to come up. They'll give you a certain amount of time and then they're gone. They will not wait until the full page loads. They'll just go straight back to the search engines or wherever it is that they found you, and they'll bounce. So optimize all your images on your homepage and all your pages, but especially your homepage, so they load as fast as possible. And there's a whole range of tools that can do that, as you will probably know. make sure that you fix any bottlenecks. So when you look at loading, things load in a specific order. Is there some way to move things around so the important stuff loads and then the rest of everything else loads lastly? And finally, make sure you use a tool like GT Metrics, which will actually show you those things. It will give you a ranking like A, B, C, F. Please don't tell me you got an F. And it will help you see that your main banner image, for example, is too big and it's taking too long to load, or that your JavaScript's taking a long time to load. Now, you might not be able to fix it, but you can give that report to your web designer and get them to fix it. It's super important you load fast. And the other side to that is also checking your hosting is fast loading, because some hosting is very cheap. And so therefore there's a huge load on the server because there's lots and lots of websites on one server. You want your website on a server that's going to load fast. So the less websites on there, the faster the connection it has to the internet, etc., the better you're going to be. Another tip there, of course, is to try and get the server in your own country, and because it's always going to work better if it's closer to the people you're trying to service. Number 4, make sure you read your content. Would you buy from you? When you read your content, is it boring? And is it wooden? Is it dull? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of websites have dull content. And it's really hard to make it interesting when you first start out. But once you've got your website up and you've got the basic information on there and it's all going, now it is time straight away to go back and look at getting some copywritten version of what it is you've got there to make it more interesting. You want to encourage people to read. You want to encourage people to click buttons, to look at videos, to do all those sorts of things, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But if your content doesn't entice them to do that, you've got a good headline at the top. What is the next step? They've stayed, now what next? So go through and look at your content. And if you don't know what you're doing there and you need help, find someone like me, and you find me at mrwebmarketing.com. But there's lots of people around the world who can help you review your site and rewrite the content so that it sells better. And conversion is key. You can have 100 visitors and convert one person, or you can have 100 visitors and convert 10 people, or 90 people, or 100 people. It all depends on how good your sales copy is. Number 5, and this one I think is probably the most important, although they're all important. If I was to pick 2, I'd say the first one, fix your headline, and this one are the 2 key things you must do first. And that is add a book now or a buy button or a most wanted response button to the top right of the page, and then repeat that button down the page. Don't give people tons of options, okay? Get them to do one thing. It's really obvious. You got to make it stand out, and you got to drive people to do what you want them to do. Don't let them go everywhere. Drive them down the path you want them to do that. And one of the key ways is to have that button in the top right-hand corner, because that's how mouse comes in on most people. And they can click that, go straight away and book a chat or book a session or whatever it happens to be that you want to do. Could be a call button that makes the phone call for you or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The key thing is you've got it there. And then as they scroll down the page and they move through the sections, make sure there's another one of these calls to action buttons and another one and another one. So it becomes extremely obvious to them what they need to do next to get your help. So keep it nice and simple. So now all the key hacks to convert visitors to buyers. But here's the question. Is your website doing its job? If not, now's the time to take action. If you need help, please book a free chat with me at mrwebmarketing.com. I'm always available if you need me. And let's turn your website into a profit machine. Remember, success doesn't happen by chance. It happens by strategy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and keep up to date with all the videos that I've got coming out, because I'm going to keep teaching you stuff that's going to turn your business around and make you a lot of money. I'll see you in the next video.